Hey everybody, this is Connor Young. I'm the CEO and co-owner of YNOT, and this is a quick little explainer video for our exhibitors for YNOT Summit. So I'm just going to walk you through how your booth's going to work and what we need to set up your booth and all that kind of good stuff. So hopefully we can answer a lot of your questions here. Okay, cool. So when the event is live and people enter into the event, they're gonna arrive at a reception, and one of the options on the left-hand side is going to be this Expo section. This is where all the booths are going to be for our exhibitors. And when they click it, they're going to get this menu of booths that they can sort of browse through and see which companies they want to visit and learn more about. Okay, that's the way that's going to look. Now, when you click any of these booths, you're going to be taken into a booth, and it's going to look something like this for starters. So this is kind of give you a general idea. Here I've got this video here. There's various chat options and polls and stuff like that going on over here in the booth in the bottom, and there's more information you can put on the bottom. So there's a variety of different things people can see. But there's also the potential for a live interactive element to the booth as well. So to kind of show you how all this works, let me jump into the view that we see as administrators of the event when we're setting up somebody's booth. This is all the settings for the YNOT booth that I was just showing you. Okay, so these are the things we got to fill in to get a booth ready to go. You know, most of it's pretty easy. There's a vendor name here, the vendor email address. This is important because any leads you generate from the booth is going to go to this email address. So you're going to want to make sure this is one that you can check and receive leads. There's a vendor headline. This is just basically a quick little tagline about the company. There is a background here. That's when you saw us browsing through, you see this background image here, and then there's a little logo up in the corner. So those are two graphical elements. The logo looks best, as you can see. If your logo is long, it gets a little small in the square. If you can make it into a square, it can be a little bigger. And then there's the background image there. That's what we're loading in here when we're setting up your booth for you. We're putting in a background image and we're putting in a logo. Okay, the about text. There's a little bit more information here with the about text, so it's a little longer than the tagline, but it's still meant to be relatively short. The main issue, okay, now this is really important because this is how your booth's going to look when people arrive. We have a couple of options here with the platform. One is you can actually go live in your booth, hang out in your booth, broadcast from your booth, and when attendees show up and maybe have questions, they see a live person there, they have the option to potentially go on camera and chat with you. They can text things at you from a text room, and your team can respond live on camera. You also can just do presentations from your booth. You can, do a mock interview, get a couple people from your company to talk about your products and services and kind of do a mock interview, and anybody in your booth can kind of watch. You can use your booth as sort of a lounge where you just say, hey, come over to the booth and hang out with us. And other attendees can see you in the booth and maybe, like I said, join you on camera and just chat or a text chat with you guys, and you're having a company chat. It's really up to you. In order to do that and have that option to go live, we have to set your booth to a session here. You see there's a couple of different options here, including like YouTube and all that. But if we set it to session, that means you have the option to go live in the booth, as I will show you in a moment. We also set the moderator for your booth. This is important. We can put as many moderators as you want. These are people who are going to have the ability to turn their camera on and off in your booth. If they're not a moderator here, if I have no moderator, see it says optional, then anybody's going to be able to do it. But when we put moderators in here, that means somebody can't go in your booth from another company, turn on the camera and be like, yeah, don't buy this stuff. This stuff's terrible. You won't have to worry about anything like that. No practical jokers. If we have a moderator, you'll have control over who can turn their camera on and off in your booth. And you can supply us once your team is registered to attend YNOT Summit. So we have them in the system. You should do that if you haven't done it already. It's very fast. Let us know who they are, and we'll add them here as moderators for your booth, and they'll have the ability to turn their cameras on and off. Now, you're probably not going to be in your booth at all times, so then what? You don't want just like a blank session with nothing going on. We can set a fallback provider, and in this case, let's say YouTube video. Now, if you upload a video to YouTube, this is where it gets tricky with our industry. You need to be careful because whatever you upload, a lot of companies think, oh, this is going to be fine, but it's a little too sexy. YouTube either kicks it off the platform or YouTube, maybe if they don't kick it off the platform, they age verify it, so you have to like log in order to see the content. If any of that happens, your video's not going to work, and we've had all that happen to people. So be very careful anything you do. I mean, if your company's relatively explicit and you're like, I can't put stuff from our website on there, it'll never get past YouTube. We can also use Vimeo, by the way, as another option. If you feel like you can't get past, the rules at YouTube, you can always have somebody from your team just talk. Just turn on the camera, talk about your company, explain what your company is all about, where they can find more information about your company. Upload that simple video to YouTube. It won't violate any of their rules or require age verification, and you won't run into any problems. All we need then is the URL to your video, whether it's YouTube or Vimeo or whatever, and we'll pull the ID of the video out of the URL, paste it here, and it'll show up. I'll show you how that works in a moment. We can provide links to all your social media sites, so LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever you want to provide in the booth. Let us know your website, a course of choice. We can put that in there. And then here's another area that I really want to promote. I think this is important. The booth has the ability, as I'll show you in a moment, as an action button, because at the end of the day, you'd like to get some leads, you'd like to do some business. So the best way to get leads, to get people to say, hey, I want to engage with you, is to provide some sort of an incentive. Hey, if you respond to this offer, you're going to get 15% off, your next purchase, or we'll give you a free month of service, or whatever it is that you do. You want to give away a t-shirt, like respond to this, and then we'll reach out and get your address and send you a t-shirt. Whatever you want to do. If you provide some sort of an incentive, people will click a button, right, where they claim the offer, and this can say anything on the button. It could say respond to offer. I can put anything you want here. It's obviously limited to 26 characters, as you can see here, and this needs to be short too. The offer needs to be short too. So if you send me like a long paragraph of text about your offer, we're not going to be able to get it all here. But what happens is you put whatever you want for the text, and then we can either register interest. If we have this set to register interest and somebody clicks on this, hey, respond to offer button, their contact information, which we have already, is going to automatically get emailed to this person here. So you're going to get an email saying, hey, you got a lead from your booth, and here's the contact information for the person. And then it's up to you at that point to reach out and provide whatever it is that you're promising you're going to provide here. So a lot of times, people don't give us an offer and it's just like, hey, visit our website. You're going to get way less interest that way. We can do it. Like I can just say link to web page here instead of, and we can say, find out more about us on our website, and then say visit website, the offer, link to website, and then whatever you gave me here is what's going to happen when somebody clicks the website. But register interest is way better. You're getting an email address. You're getting an actual hot lead interested in your offer. So give a little thought about what you'd like to show up here, because little effort there will probably go a long way in getting more leads. Additional information, we can do anything below the main area of the video or the live session or whatever you're doing in your booth. There's some additional information we can put in here. So feel free to provide us additional text if you want, and you also don't have to. The booths look fine without that information. It's really up to you if you want to provide that or not. Now, how's that look? I showed you there's the link. So somebody goes through these expo listings, they click like the YNOT booth, and they're going to come into the booth here. Now you see, oh, okay, this is that YouTube video. That's what's going on here. So we got a video here. Somebody can click it. And in our case, we went ahead and put some, like a little promo for the YNOT Cam Awards, so people can come in here and kind of watch the YNOT Cam Awards. But we can change this to whatever we want, okay? This is that extra text I was talking to you about. Then over here, there's the, kind of the about us, the tagline, all that information here. And this is that offer, register interest. So if we've got something here that entices people and they click register interest, then the email address you supplied is going to get that notification with that person's contact information. So that's kind of key. You got this chat here, hey there. Okay, so people can chat in here. So you want to watch the chat if anyone shows up and ask questions. They can also ask questions in Q&A. So they can click here and a question would show up there, and then you can answer it. So it's a little more of a formal Q&A format. You can see who's hanging out in the booth. Note, I should take a moment to say, see how there's event and there's booth? when you want to know who's in the booth and whatnot, you always want to make sure this booth is selected, because if you go here, it's going to show you like the chat that's going on for the entire event and any system-wide polls and system-wide stuff. But if it's booth, all this stuff, including any polls you want to set up, it's all just specific to your booth here. So that's kind of important to realize. Okay, now up at the top, this is kind of new, which is great. See how it says toggle to turn on live sessions? That means because we set this up as a session for this booth with the backup opportunity to show the video, nobody's live, so it starts off with the video, but you can come here and you can say, all right, I want to go live on my booth now. So I'm going to click this here, and I'm turning my booth to live. Now, nobody's broadcasting in the booth, so it's at this point, anybody coming to the booth is going to see this blank message presentation starting shortly. But since I'm the moderator, you see I got this share audio and video link right here. So if I click it, and then I got to get through like a ton of these, approve your setting things. But it's going to, hey, there I am. It's going to turn us live here. And now you can see I'm broadcasting to the booth. Anybody showing up at my booth is now seeing me and listening to me talk. You can have, as you see, 1 of 10 here. You can have 10 people from your company in theory if you wanted to, just all on screen here, chatting it up, talking it up, putting on a presentation, whatever. Or you can have a salesperson just sitting here, waiting for someone to show up and ask questions if that's what you want to do. It's up to you. You can do mock interviews. You can do demonstrations. Notice that you've got controls down here at the bottom for what you want to do. You can share your screen if you want to, like, maybe do a little presentation in your booth. Please make sure anything you show here is not explicit. It's just keeping within the rules of the platform. So keep things on the more business professional side and try to avoid explicit content in your booth, please. But you have these options to kind of do a little, if you want to do a whiteboard and kind of on your screen and walk everybody through it. You have the option to put that in the booth and do a little demo or a presentation in your booth too. Now, getting people into your booth, some people are going to wander by and click. They get to booths that are empty and there's nothing live going on. They probably move on to the next one after taking a quick glance, and they might not go back to that booth. So if all of a sudden now you're live and you want them to come back to your booth, you might want to use the system-wide event chat to say, hey, everybody, the team from XYZ company, we're all in our booth. Come over and chat with us. Come hang out, whatever. If you have any email channels that you want to send out to your customers and say, come talk to us at YNOT Summit in our booth. We're here. The more you put into that, the more you're going to, it's just like a regular trade show in that regard. You put in that extra effort to get people over to your booth and come talk to you. You're going to get better participation in your booth. Okay, that's how that works. And when you're done with the session, you can just click, okay, I don't want to be live anymore. I want to go maybe watch some sessions myself or browse booths. Click this toggle at the top here, and it's going to put it right back to the video that you've got set. You're good to go. All right, that'll give you a general idea of what your booth looks like. Let's put this back to the booth. This gives you a general idea of what your booth looks like and what you can do with your booth, and kind of, I won't say the sky's the limit, but there's a lot of different ways you can go about this. If you want to just put in a video here, maybe some text down here, and maybe a little offer here, but you don't want to go live and you don't want to deal with that, and great, just you can do that, and you'll get whatever interest you can get from people visiting the booth, watching your video, and registering interest. If you want to do a broadcast from your booth, if you want to make a big deal over it, you want to send out promos to your customers saying, come into the booth at this time and we're going to be here, we're having a conversation. You could have your whole company like just hanging out and chatting here. That's up to you. I'm going to turn this session back on because I want to show you one other thing that I think is really important to note. While only the moderators will get this button to share audio and video, those who are not moderators are going to see an option to request to share their audio and video. So they can try to turn it on. And what's going to happen is down here in this moderation panel, you'll get like a little pop-up notice right here that says, hey, this attendee is requesting to go live on camera. You can either accept it or decline it or whatever you want to do. If you allow it, then they can broadcast. So this is a way to bring maybe attendees to your booth live on camera and have a direct conversation on camera with those attendees. You don't have to do that too. You can say, you know what? No, I don't want to do that. I just want to have only our company on and talking, and anybody else wants to talk at us, they can use this chat over here and we'll respond to the chat. This is all entirely up to you. Okay. So now the question is, the last part I just kind of want to get into is, what do you need? What do we need from you in order to fill all this information in? What are the specs, all that kinds of good stuff for the graphics, etc. Okay, to find this information out, if you go to YNOTSummit.com, this FAQ right here, and click on this. And on the bottom, there's a few questions here for sponsors, exhibitors. And there is this one here. What do I need to provide YNOT to set up our virtual booth? Expand it, and that'll bring you right to a nifty little exhibitor checklist that we've created. And this has all the basics that you'll need to supply for your booth right here, ready to go. So just browse through this. If you have any questions, if you're trying to figure out things that aren't making sense to you, if something I said in this video doesn't make sense and you have questions, you can reach out to me or to Jay. Emailing Jay or Skyping Jay or even Twitter DMs, he's very good about that. He's really quick at getting back to people, and I'm a little slower, I have to admit. So, yeah, I apologize for that. But you can reach out to either one of us, to be honest, and we'll both help you. So email me, email Jay. If you're an exhibitor, you probably have Jay's contact information already for sure. If for any reason you don't know how to reach any of us, there's YNOTsupport.com, YNOTsupport.com should bring you to our Zendesk contact form. So that's always another way to reach us. But I'm guessing you already know how to reach us. Okay, that's it, guys. Looking forward to a great YNOT Summit, which is coming up here in just less than 3 weeks now, which is amazing from the time I'm recording this. Can't wait to see everybody, and hope you have a terrific show.